Switch 2, it's official. It has broken every record in terms of a console release. 3.5 million. Now, last time we heard these numbers, we were going, that feels low. No, apparently that's right on par. In fact, it's above par. I'm sorry, under par if you want proper golf terms. It's under par. Where the PS2 and that stuff only sold like 2.5 million at launch. So I think if the PS5 had been in a better era in terms of world insanity, it would currently
no
own
chip
the crown.
issues. Yeah,
it would own the crown, and the Switch 2 would be battling for the crown of the PS5. But right now, the Switch 2 owns the crown. But I still think it could have been even bigger.
Oh, it unequivocally could be bigger. Just bigger with just exclusive. Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Mario. Have those 3 coming out at launch. It'd be 5 at least by now. But yeah, I agree. These numbers seemed weird to me. I'd never done a whole lot of research into opening weeks for consoles, and 3.5 seems low. I mean, Assassin's Creed Shadows was claiming this number in its first few days. Why are games selling nearly as well? I mean, we don't believe that number, but in general, why are games selling as well as consoles in their first week? That doesn't make sense to me, because you can play a lot more games on a console than just one game. So it doesn't make sense to me. 3.5 worldwide seems low, but that the numbers are the numbers. They say that's really good. So we'll see how it is in the long run. I think we've all had our thoughts on the Switch 2. We have complicated opinions on them. I'm going to get a Switch 2 someday when there's games I care about, but you have to give them props for this. It was always going to be in competition for the biggest launch of all time. I don't think any of us disagreed with that it was going to be right up there, but it took the crown, like you said.
I made the video and I said its built-in fan base was going to guarantee it a good launch and overall a chance of being the highest-selling console of all time. And I got a lot of pushback for that, but here we are. They're off to the best start of all time. So it's kind of on the track right now to reach it. But, I mean, Dre, though, we've heard a lot of problems in the past couple of weeks now. There's a lot of issues with the Switch 2 itself. I don't think that's going to slow anything down, though. People keep buying it.
No, I don't think it's going to slow down because the Nintendo fan base is locked in, and that's why Nintendo can do whatever they want. This is why they can do whatever they want, because the Nintendo faithful stands, whatever they want to be called,
the drones.
Yeah, Nintendo drones. Thank you. Like whatever, it doesn't matter. They'll slop it up. The Switch 2 is literally nothing new. It is literally a Switch. There's no difference. The screen is what? A little bigger and a little thinner? That's it? That's it? And you're going to charge me gojillions? And you get down on your knees and start begging daddy for more? Are you crazy?
No. Question. Because you are a Pokemon guy, I don't know. Is Z to A cross-platform? Is it both Switch?
Oh, yeah, both. So
it's going to be on both.
Oh, so then that would be your motivation to get a Switch 2 in the next couple months, and you have no motivation now.
Zero. And it's a thing. Even if it wasn't a mainline Pokemon game, why in the world would you put it on the Switch when the Switch 2 is going to be out? You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're seduce me, for God's sake.
Wine, dine, bring me chocolates.
Anything. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you can just play it on the Switch. Well, the Switch 2 is out, so you can buy a Switch 2 and then buy the Switch game. No, I'm going to not buy the Switch 2 because I'm not retard. So that doesn't gonna equate with me. Make that joint. If you make ZA Switch 2 exclusive, you're gonna get another 10 million in sales. Today, you get 10 million.
Yeah.
Every Poke freak out there is gonna go and buy it just because they want to play the new Pokemon game. Period. But you're going to sit there and tell me that we're going to extend the Switch's life for no reason? Come on.
I mean, it's one thing. There's always that little bit of crossover between a generational thing, a PS4 to a PS5. There's still a lot of games are in the oven. There are going to be games that are coming out, especially now when they made the PS5 backwards compatible to PS4. So there's going to be a little crossover, and it's going to extend the life. Same thing with every other console. There's always a little bit of crossover, especially with backwards compatible era. But this doesn't make sense when, as you said, it's literally just an upgraded Switch 1.
It's nothing.
It should be the Switch Pro. We should have gotten this Switch like 5 years ago and call it the Switch Pro. That's what this should have been.
Or do something, I don't know, innovative. But that's what I'm saying. That's why when we said it a week or so ago.
Nintendo only gets innovative when they got kicked in the nuts.
Exactly. And they knew that they were going to get paid because their fan base
business. It's good business.
Sure. If I can make $1 gajillion by not doing anything, yeah, I'll do it. Especially if I know that there's no competition. There's no competition. I know Xbox has announced we making a mobile. Shut up! You're not doing anything.
Oh, they announced the price. Apparently, it's going to be like $600-$700.
Yeah, the white one is like $700. The black one's $1,000. I don't know what they're trying to say with that, but but like, bro. There is no competition, so I can just sit there and just drop my nuts on the table. There's nothing here. But this is what's frustrating me because I am the normie in this situation because I'm not going to sit there and get down on my knees and beg Nintendo for more. You got to try to seduce my dollar, and you told me with my normie dollar that you don't care. And that's more than enough for me to walk away. You don't have anything in there for me. I was never a Nintendo guy, ever in my history.
Yeah.
Have I had Nintendo systems before? Of course, we all have. But I was never a Nintendo guy. I want to get the new Pokemon. But if you're going to sit there and tell me, like, oh, well, you're going to get on Switch and just play on Switch 2 later. Well, then why would I buy your Switch 2?
Yeah.
Because I don't like that, but when you have a fan base that's just gonna eat slop,
listen.
Who am I?
If we're gonna criticize Superman stands for slopping it up, the Nintendo fan base, as loyal as they are literally sloppy. Jed, I feel like the fervor for Mario Kart World is already dying off.
Like I said it would. The novelty of the open world would die so quickly. The moment that people have the ability to skip the open world, as Beater calls them, the tweener tracks, people are going to do that. And we're already seeing that. Even people who like Mario Kart World are like, yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't say it's better than 8. Maybe it's about the same as 8. And that isn't what you should see in the one exclusive that you offer. If it's the one exclusive for a new console, it needs to do gangbusters. It needs to be like, wow, this is the greatest Mario Kart game. That's the only way to even remotely justify it. I actually had the chance to play Mario Kart World for the first time last night. I was over at Beardo's house and we drank way too much beer and we played some Mario Kart World and it was fine. The tracks are so fucking wide. I was winning and I had no experience with it. It's normie bait. Like it's the easiest Mario Kart I've ever played.
It's wide to make good for 24 people playing at a time. That's why
24 is too many. It's insane.
I've seen it. It's nuts. It's a game about. It's basically, it's like for lack of a better term, a derby where everybody's crashing into each other. That's what it's about. It's not. You're not racing anymore at that point. You're just firing off your items, and at the last second, you're going to grab victory.
Yep, pretty much.
Am I wrong?
No, that's exactly what it is. And your derby metaphor is an apt one because unlike previous Mario Kart games, when you get hit by something, it doesn't affect you that much. Like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for example, if you're on Moonview Highway and you get hit by one of the normal-ass cars on the road, you're going to fly in the air, you're going to crash, you're going to stop moving entirely for like 2 seconds. In this one, you just kind of do a barrel roll and slow down a little bit, but you never stop entirely. It's the same thing with items. Even blue shells aren't that big of a slowdown. And nothing's effective anymore. Nothing slows you down, bumping into people, getting hit by a bullet. All these items that used to nearly incapacitate you for several seconds, they're just a minor inconvenience.
Yeah. The most inconvenience I've seen is when somebody gets knocked off the track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then your items get taken away from you. Yeah. But even that, I think it's faster. Lakitu picking you up is done quicker, I believe. So you're back to racing sooner.
Here we are. This is the best launch ever, but if you're not a Nintendrone, you aren't having you're not feeling the vibe. It's just another day that ends in Y, and you're going to go back to what you're playing. And as Dre said, you're not enticed There's nothing enticing you to go with. They have left money on the table for Pokemon fans, Mario fans, real Mario fans, people who want a standalone real Mario game, which they haven't had for a long time. There you go. Why not give us something that? Even Zelda. Now, of course, it's been too soon for a Zelda game. Even though Tears of the Kingdom is essentially an expansion pack for Breath of the Wild, essentially, it's still too soon for a Zelda game. And there was no way they were going to have a brand new thing. And of course, Zelda, they're going to do what they always do. They're going to reset everything and do something completely different. They're not going to continue that storyline likely. They're going to go in a whole nother direction again because that's what Zelda does. It just keeps splintering the timeline more and more. But even though this game was supposed to reorganize timeline, whatever, different conversation. Point is, you left money on the table for your major franchises. No sports games, no party games, nothing at launch, nothing really there, nothing bring people together. Just Mario Kart World, which 2-3 weeks in now is, I'm not going to say falling off, but people are just moving on. And they're playing games on their Switch 2s you can get better versions of on PC or other consoles. It's going to do well. It's going to keep doing well, but we just will keep saying over and over again, this could have been much bigger, much better. And they, in my opinion, to what Dre says, he's absolutely right. They're going to do it because it's easy money, and Nintendo doesn't really care about its fans. They care that the fans will line up and say, please, sir, take my money for whatever slop you're going to feed me. That's simple. And with that,
it's proven.
It's
right in front of us. It's proven.
Yeah, and we're done.
You don't get my money though.
Yeah,
I'm tweaking.
You're going to get Z to A though for your regular Switch, right?
Oh yeah, I'm buying it.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Z to A could convince a lot of people if it were an exclusive, but it's not. So it's just a weird decision that they made.
Yeah. I mean,
and I don't get the people praising some of these games that are old games that are on Switch 2. People are saying just buy it because it has old games on it. Like Cyberpunk 2077, it plays like it did in the PS4, and they're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I love it. Everyone get it for Cyberpunk. Or the Zelda games. Oh, they actually play at 60 frames per second. If you care about that, you should buy a Switch 2 just to play these Zelda games at 60 frames per second. Or the same thing with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Same thing. It's running a little bit more smoothly, and the spawn rates have gone up because the hardware can handle it. And so people are getting shinies left and right.
Waste. So wait,
that's just not enough. If those were side things with the launch, that'd be fine. But old games that I already have, I actually have all of those games I just listed. Why am I buying a new console to replay games that I already have?
Yeah, do you know what you just described to me? Everything you just described is called a firmware update.
Yes.
And you think I'm about to drop multi-hundos because that junk got a firmware update? These people are insane, bruh. They're insane.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.